Mr. President, I want to sincerely appreciate the leader of the Senate. I've worked with him. The whip is interfering with what I'm saying, so my meeting starts again. Mr. President, I was appreciating the leader of the Senate. He is a process person who is very detailed. He has given us a very comprehensive and detailed report, which we appreciate. But, Mr. President, for me, I will categorize the report into three broad areas. We are going into too much details of dictating to the military, the police, as to how they run their own agencies. What we should be discussing here, basically, Mr. President, to me, should be the broad policy outline that will guide what the government or the executive need to do in order to address this palpable security situation that we found ourselves in. So, Mr. President, for me, which is also reflected comprehensively in the report, is the issue of systematic failure of governance. Mr. President, there is total failure on the part of governance as far as security issue is concerned, because as a governor, when confronted with security challenges, you need to apply yourself and let the people see that you are serious in addressing the problem. Have we shown that level of seriousness in addressing this? Outside of saying that we have allocated money, well, it's beyond allocations of money. There has to be detailed, systematic approach in addressing this security problem. And the report stated it, said the Office of the National Security Advisor is not funded. The man is not a magician. If we don't have money, how will he work? How will he coordinate the system? He can't. That is failure on the part of government. There are other instances that the report also have indicated where there is complete systematic failure. So that is category one. And under that failure is where you find all of what Senator Abbott said on page 53, where you have conflicts, issues of M&E, monitoring and evaluation. There is nowhere where you don't monitor. If you give an assignment, there has to be monitoring and evaluation so that you can determine and make projections. We don't have that. The report has captured it. It's part of systematic failure of government. Mr. President, the second one is lack of coordination. Broadly, what the report have talked about is that there is no coordination at whatever level between the agencies that are saddled with this responsibility. If there is no coordination, how can it work? If DSS, for instance, have intelligence and do not properly pass that intelligence to the military, there's no way it can work. And the report captured it completely. Those are areas that I think that we should be talking about. Total lack of coordination within the agencies that are saddled with security responsibility is what is affecting what we are talking about here. And we've been talking about it. Mr. President, now, lack of quality data. All over the world, there is no way that any system can operate without data. There is no quality data. Does our data have integrity? No. We have no data that has any integrity. So once you have data that lack integrity, Mr. President, there is no way that you can project and work. And that is why we keep running into problems. It's not just in the area of security. Look at the educational system. Do we have data that we can actually say that is okay, this is what we have, the trajectory that our education has followed? It's the same thing in the security system. So the report captured adequately the fact that we need quality data with integrity. So, Mr. President, for me, as a House or as a Senate, what we need to do is for us to, as recommended also by the report, that we need to look at legislation that can make it imperative for agencies to have M&E department in their place, M&E, that is monitoring and evaluation, to make sure that they have quality data that has integrity so that there will be a trajectory that can be tracked, to also make sure that the system works. The system is not working. And like Ebert said, let's call a spade a spade. The system is simply not working. The system has to work. And once we look at these three broad areas, systematic failure, lack of coordination, and then lack of quality data, and make sure that we address this, we have addressed the entire report. But, Mr. President, in conclusion, we want to appeal that at the level of leadership, at your level, Mr. President, with a report like this, that Nigerians are waiting for. It will be good that at the end of the day, you can sit down with the leadership of this country and discuss this report and let's have their buy-in. Otherwise, the 10th Senate will come back with a report like this if nothing is done now. So it is also now incumbent on you as our leader to meet with the leadership in order to discuss this report and see how they can have their buy-in. Mr. President, I so submit.
Senator Solomon Adiola.
Don't do that. Mr. President.